Hey everybody, Toys of Arkham here, back with another quick review, and this is of the Neca 7-inch figure of Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. The man of your dreams is back. And this is a figure that I have had for a few months, and I actually, for whatever reason, hadn't opened it yet. I have a couple of other Neca figures to open as well. And I've been hearing that this is, of the Neca figures, this is probably the best version of Freddy Krueger you can get. And a big shout out to Glenn of Cult Creations. Glenn, if you're watching, you were the one who made sure that I got this version over every other version. So here it is. And yeah, thanks for, I suppose, encouraging me to get it, because when I opened just the front of the box here, having a look in, it certainly looks like an incredible figure. So on the inside of this box, you see this is a picture of the figure itself with some flame effect at the back. I think that comes with it in the box. Actually, it does. You can see it there. And there you can see in the window packaging just the figure with these two dogs that look disgusting with actual human heads on it. Swap out heads, and we'll get to that in just a second. So the box itself has really nice graphics on it, obviously showcasing what comes in it, the different expressions you can get out of the figure. There's the back of the school bus. If you want to pause it there, you can read all about the little passage there. I'm not going to read it out. Okay, so we'll move on. Yeah, so I love this artwork. It's really nice. I suppose if you wanted to display it with the box, it would look well in the background. I personally won't be doing that, but I will hang on to the box just to have. I tend not to throw away the Ultimate Neca boxes. I think they do look nice, and maybe someday I'll have enough room to display them all with those behind it. At the moment, I don't. So, right, let's take this out of the box. Now I'm back, and it has been eventually freed from its plastic prison. Yeah, my first impressions are, this is a gruesome figure. Fantastic, but gruesome. Let me just take his fedora hat off. I think I actually need to reshape that because it is, I think, a little bit warped. So first thing I noticed about this when I took it out is obviously likeness, absolutely incredible. And there is a tendency I find with Neca figures when you take them out of the box initially to be really stiff in terms of the joints. And this guy was pretty flexible. And wasn't rigid when I was moving his arms and joints, so that's a positive. On the negative side though, the first thing I wanted to do was switch out his claw hand to his clawed glove rather than the claws coming out of his fingers, because that's kind of the classic look. And luckily this figure comes with that accessory, but it was a bit of a nightmare getting it on. It was very stiff. The joint socket where the peg goes in was pretty stiff, so just be careful of that. Anyway, I'm going to do what I always do and have a look at accessories first before really focusing in on the figure himself. If he will stand, which he probably won't. Please stand. Yes, he's standing. Okay, so let's have a look at the accessories. So this head sculpt here, if it'll focus, yeah, this is obviously an option. Absolutely disgusting. It is accurate though to the movie. This burnt head sculpt, real grimacing look, and yeah, horrible. But great, obviously. And then we're on to this one. This roaring, yelling, angry, about to do something terrible, and this one in particular has a bit of exposed brain. I mean, if it wasn't horrible enough, that's what we've got there to deal with. Of course, you can just put the hat on that sculpt if you want to hide the brain aspect of it. But if you're really into your gore, well, there you have it. brains out if you want. So this is the hand that I swapped out originally, and you can see this is the claws coming out of his fingers rather than out of gloves. So it's a little bit warped, but I'm sure if you worked on it, you'd get it just right. So obviously that's what's on it originally. So there's a fedora hat. This is a little bit warped again as well, but it is a very pliable type of plastic, so you should be able to shape it to the way you want it to look. And yeah, so that's nice. Looks kind of leather and battered, just the way it did in the movie. Now these things are just horrible. These are two dogs that you'd see in the movie, and the heads of a human and coming out of it, and it's horrible, disgusting. I don't know if I'll even display these. I have young kids. If they wander into my collection room, I've probably got a couple of things that are along the lines of this on display, but I suppose I don't want to add to the trauma. And I can do without these just for my own enjoyment. I don't really need to be looking at these sorts of things. But anyway, they're there if you want them. I suppose for figure photography, you can use them. But I think they're some sort of a Doberman or Pit Bull or something aggressive like that. And then they've got human heads that seem to be, I suppose, suffering from leprosy or something disgusting. Look, they are really good in terms of the sculpt, but just disgusting. Okay, so it also comes with this flame effect, which is very cool. Nice translucent sort of orange plastic to look like flames. But the really cool thing actually, and I've never seen this on a Neca figure before, is that it's actually magnetic. So you're able to just pop it onto the back of Frederick. So that's the idea, to have the flames on his back. And yeah, it's a really cool effect, and it holds quite well. It is magnetic, and if you're worrying about this falling off your figure, I don't think you'd have to have that sort of concern. So I'll just pop that off. I really like that accessory. Again, not sure if I'm going to be displaying him that way, but let's have a look at the figure itself. So there's the hat. The hat fits very well on his noggin, on his head. Put him down here so we get a bit of light. A bit of focus would be great. Maybe if I take that disgusting face out of the way, it won't focus on that. Yeah, so here we are. Again, really good sculpt, the burnt features, working our way up from bottom. It's nice boots. The trousers look well. Hands look really good too. The jumper looks all tatty and worn and stained. It's obviously a dark green and red, accurate again to the movie. The gloved hand is done very well. You can see the metal clasp and leather, and this sort of old worn grey metal brush effect there on the claws. But yeah, you'd have a lot of fun with this guy in terms of poses and setups, and I was tempted actually to get the furnace, the Neca furnace that can be used as a diorama backdrop to this guy. Sorry about the focusing, I don't know what's going on with this camera. But yeah, really good figure. Glad I got it. You're right, Glenn. It's a super figure. And I think I've got the the Sideshow 1/6 scale of this guy on pre-order with Mad About Horror there in the UK. So be interesting to see the difference in details between the two. Usually 1/6 scale figures have a larger base to get more detail in. So let's see how it stands up to this one. But yeah, for the price point, has a great presence about it, a lot of accuracy, a lot of accessories. I really like it, so I would recommend it. And thanks for checking the video out, guys, and sorry for the blurry camera work. So if you would like, please subscribe and leave a comment below if you have any questions. And yeah, I'll chat to you soon. Bye bye.